Bobcats might be smaller than you'd expect for a wildcat, but these agile hunters have been known to bring down prey that dwarfs them in both size and strength. It's this combination of smaller stature and big cat ferocity that leads many people to wonder, are bobcats really that dangerous? And more importantly, why have they become such a controversial topic among wildlife enthusiasts and curious pet owners? Today, we're exploring every facet of these elusive felines, from their unique physical traits to the rumors swirling around illegal bobcat ownership. You'll learn why these wildcats command such intrigue, how they've adapted to survive in nearly any environment, and why attempts to make them household pets have sparked heated debates around the globe. But that's only scratching the surface. As we delve deeper, prepare to uncover the reality behind their mysterious reputations, along with a few shocking truths about what it truly means to share your backyard, or even your living room, with one of North America's fiercest predators. Legends have always swirled around elusive animals, and bobcats are no exception. In some Native American stories, the bobcat appears as a cunning trickster. Its keen senses and quiet approach represent wisdom, stealth, and sometimes mischief. Over time, these tales evolved into modern folklore, sightings in suburban areas, whisperings of nighttime encounters in dense forests, and the unconfirmed stories of bold bobcats wandering into backyards in search of easy meals. While it's hard to separate fact from exaggeration, one detail remains consistent. Bobcats thrive in secrecy. Adding to their mystique are scattered rumors about phantom cats or cryptid cats roaming rural roads late at night, alleged big cat sightings that often turn out to be bobcats or misidentified domestic pets. It's no surprise these sleek creatures captivate public imagination. Their broad range from southern Canada through most of the United States and into Mexico makes them one of the most widespread wildcats in North America. Yet despite their sizable territory, most people rarely catch more than a fleeting glimpse, if they see one at all. Bobcats are adept at avoiding detection, reinforcing the sense that they're ghosts in the wilderness. When you hear whisperings of a large predator skulking around a neighborhood, it might be a bobcat looking for small rodents in the underbrush. Or perhaps it's a simple rumor spread by an overexcited witness who saw a spotted coat dart behind a tree. Either way, these elusive cats linger in the corners of our collective imagination. But that wasn't the whole story. Next up, we'll break down their physical traits to understand why so many people find them so enthralling, and why underestimating them can be a dangerous mistake. If you picture a typical house cat and then scale it up with more muscle, tufted ears, and a notably abbreviated tail, you'll have a decent mental image of a bobcat. Adults usually weigh anywhere from 15 to 40 pounds, though especially robust individuals have been documented exceeding that range. Their plush coats can exhibit a spectrum of colors, from pale gray to a warm reddish-brown, often patterned with spots or streaks that serve as highly effective camouflage. This adaptive coloration allows them to blend seamlessly into forest undergrowth, desert rocks, or mountainous terrain. One of the bobcat's most defining features is its short, bobbed tail, which earned them their common name. That small tail, accented with a black tip above and a lighter underside, also helps with balance as the cat twists and turns mid-hunt. Equally notable are their tall, pointed ears, each crowned with a small, black tuft at the tip. Menotti researchers believe these tufts enhance hearing by funneling sound into the ears, an evolutionary advantage crucial for locating scurrying prey beneath layers of leaves and brush. The white patches on the back of their ears may serve as false eyes, confusing both predators and other bobcats in territorial disputes. Bobcats also boast impressively powerful hind legs, enabling them to jump great distances with startling accuracy. Coupled with sharp claws and extremely keen night vision, they move through their environment like ghostly hunters in the twilight. They don't waste energy on aimless wandering. Their instincts lead them directly to the best vantage points, whether perched on a rock outcrop or crouched in tall grass. These traits, honed over thousands of years, make them formidable in nearly any habitat. Just wait until you see how they handle an ever-encroaching human presence. Bobcats are nothing if not adaptable. Unlike some large carnivores that require pristine wilderness or vast, untouched land to thrive, bobcats show an uncanny ability to live in a variety of environments. Dense forests, swamps, scrublands, deserts, and even the outskirts of suburban developments. This means that while many big cat species face existential threats from habitat loss, bobcats have found ways to coexist with expanding human populations, although not without tension. In many parts of North America, farmland and suburban sprawl have pushed wildlife into smaller pockets of suitable habitat. Bobcats, armed with their elusive nature, usually slink around residential areas unnoticed. They might shelter in brush piles or abandoned structures, hunting rats, rabbits, and even backyard poultry if given the opportunity. Naturally, this can create friction with farmers and homeowners. Stories of disappearing chickens or half-eaten garden vegetables appear in local rumors, feeding the bobcat's reputation as a cryptic menace that lurks just outside the glow of streetlights. Local authorities often grapple with how to manage bobcat populations, especially when sightings spike and residents feel uneasy. In response, wildlife agencies may set regulations on hunting or trapping, believing that keeping numbers in check protects small livestock and preserves public peace of mind. Yet many conservationists argue that bobcats fill a vital ecological niche, helping control rodent populations that might otherwise balloon out of control. That's the strange duality of this wildcat, a creature that can slip seamlessly into new habitats but sparks conflict when it does. And this conflict reaches a whole new level when people decide to bring bobcats right through their front doors. The allure of owning a miniature lynx can be tempting for those craving a unique companion. After all, bobcats are the smallest members of the lynx genus, sharing some traits with the larger Canadian lynx. But for some thrill seekers, having a bobcat prowl the living room conjures images of an exotic, attention-grabbing pet that sets them apart from ordinary cat owners. Online forums and social media posts often promote the notion that bobcats can be domesticated with enough time and patience. However, many of these rumors brush over the serious challenges, legal, ethical, and practical, of taking on such a predator. In certain regions, people have been known to keep bobcat hybrids, sold under misleading labels that suggest they're safe or tame. When an unsuspecting buyer stumbles upon an ad for a lynx kitten or bobcat cross, they may not realize they're inviting a wild animal into a home environment that can never truly satisfy its instincts. The owners who learn this lesson too late often share startling stories of shredded furniture, unpredictable aggression, and the overwhelming cost of specialized vet care. A few even claim they were assured these cats were no more trouble than a large domestic breed, an assertion many experts say is dangerously misleading. The legal aspect adds another layer of complexity. While some places ban bobcat ownership outright, others permit it if the owner obtains special wildlife permits or meets strict housing requirements. These regulations exist for a reason. Bobcats are solitary hunters, with strong territorial drives that can't be switched off by a cozy couch or a steady supply of food. Confined in a small enclosure, they might lash out at other pets or even humans who come too close. And while there are always sensationalized stories online, some describing owners who swear their bobcat is the sweetest pet they've ever had, there are also accounts of near-tragic encounters that reveal just how unpredictable these animals can be. Yet that wasn't the whole story either, because the real dangers go well beyond a few scratches or a pricey vet bill. At first glance, a bobcat's size seems manageable. After all, it's smaller than a mountain lion or jaguar. But many new owners forget that even a smallish wildcat still retains potent survival instincts sharpened by nature itself. Unlike a dog or domestic cat bred for thousands of years to cohabitate with humans, bobcats haven't undergone any genetic selection for tameness. Instinct drives them to mark territory aggressively, resist confinement, and respond to perceived threats, real or imagined, with swift, frightening force. Clashes with children or smaller household pets provide particularly alarming cautionary tales. There are stories, sometimes passed along in hushed tones, of bobcats turning on unexpected targets when startled. Even if these stories are rarer than sensational headlines make them seem, the mere possibility is enough to give many would-be owners pause. Adding to the complexity is the risk of zoonotic diseases, ailments that can pass between animals and humans. Bobcats can carry parasites or viruses that, if transmitted, can cause serious health complications. Veterinary specialists qualified to treat and vaccinate wildcats can be expensive and hard to find. And if something goes wrong, a typical emergency clinic might refuse treatment due to legal liabilities. Even owners who care deeply for these cats and do their best to provide large enclosures, specialized diets, and enrichment often admit the stress runs high. Some bobcats pace frantically, display aggression, or develop repetitive behaviors indicating psychological distress. In a home environment, they might scratch at windows or doors, desperate for open territory. There's also the looming threat of legal troubles. An unpermitted bobcat can be seized by local authorities, sometimes leading to heartbreak for the owner and a grim future for the animal. Each sad ending reveals a deeper truth. Humans and bobcats exist most peacefully when the cats remain in their rightful environment. Still, these negative outcomes don't tell the entire story of the bobcat's role in nature, which is far more essential than most people realize. From ancient myths to viral online rumors, the bobcat's reputation weaves a mesmerizing narrative that's part legend, part cold, hard reality. On the one hand, they are extraordinary hunters, small but powerful, mysterious, yet firmly woven into the fabric of North America's ecosystems. On the other, their wild instincts and territorial needs make them profoundly unsuitable houseguests. Those who try to tame the untamable often learn that no matter how many times you fill a food bowl, a wildcat's heart still yearns for the open landscape and the thrill of the hunt. Bobcats, for all their fascination, serve as a cautionary tale about our desire to control or domesticate what we find beautiful, exotic, or misunderstood. They remind us that wildlife, no matter how well-intentioned the owner, can't be stripped of the instincts programmed by countless generations of survival. Coexisting responsibly means respecting their boundaries, admiring from afar, supporting habitat preservation, and pushing for laws that protect both humans and bobcats from disastrous encounters. So, how should we regard these agile, tuft-eared predators? Are we to fear them, revere them, or simply let them remain mysteries of the twilight hours? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere in the balance. They've proven remarkably adept at slipping into our human-dominated world, quietly managing rodent populations and slipping away into the night. Yet they demand respect for their space, instincts, and role in nature. And maybe that's exactly as it should be. When we leave wild things where they belong, we allow them to fulfill the purpose they've held for centuries, maintaining the intricate balance of ecosystems. In turn, we get a healthier environment and the thrill of knowing that just beyond our back fence, a perfectly adapted feline prowls the darkness. After all the evidence, scientific, anecdotal, and outright rumored, the question remains, does our fascination with bobcats help protect them, or does it drive more attempts to harness the wild for personal possession? In the end, it's up to each of us to choose whether we fuel the cycle of misguided ownership or support programs and policies that keep bobcats flourishing in their natural habitats. The answer isn't always simple, but one thing is certain. These captivating creatures are far more than scaled-up house cats, and that realization alone might be what compels us to give them the respect and the distance they deserve.